70 years is a long time. It don't seem that long ago to me. To me, that was the best days of the Guard, because we were a small unit. Everybody knew everybody else, including their families, kids, and everything. Two of our pilots shot down MiG aircraft, which were the North Koreans' aircraft. And that was an accomplishment because the F-84 definitely was not a high-speed aircraft. To give you an idea of how the equipment we had back then, I used a bicycle to run up and down the flight line. I didn't have a vehicle. I retired in '79, and they were just getting the F-4s when I retired. My experience with working for the Guard, flying airplanes and so forth, I found out that everything works real good when the morale is high. And if I wanted to give advice to anybody, and commanders on down, work every day on improving the morale. And if you do that, everything else is a breeze.
The formation of today's 149th Fighter Wing actually traces back to 1943, when the 396 Fighter Squadron was activated and served honorably during World War II. After the war, most Guard units were given the lineage of similar World War II combat units. In keeping with this tradition, the 396 Fighter Squadron was inactivated and redesignated the 182nd Fighter Squadron. On October 6, 1947, the 182nd won federal recognition and was given a fighter-bomber mission. Members were ordered to active duty during the Korean conflict and equipped with F-84E Thunderjets. Besides assisting in bombing, rocketing, and strafing communist rail lines, the 182nd lent its support to B-29 bomb raids. The unit experienced many firsts during this time. It was the first Air National Guard aerial combat unit since World War II, the first to destroy a MiG-15 in air combat, and the first to use in-flight refueling techniques under combat conditions. In 1955, the unit got a taste of Hollywood when members provided F-51 planes to be used in the movie Battle Hymn, starring Rock Hudson, about a Korean War Mustang pilot. In 1956, the unit received its first delivery of F-80s and soon moved from Brooks Air Force Base to Kelly Air Force Base to use buildings originally occupied during World War II. The F-86 Saberjet replaced the F-80 as the unit plane in 1958, and in June of 1960, the unit received another set of aircraft, F-102s. The following month, on July 1st, the unit was reorganized as the 149th Fighter Group, with the 182nd now as a component of the group. In 1969, the 149th received its first delivery of F-84s after retiring the 102s, but by the following year, an attack aircraft had arrived from England, the F-100 Super Sabre. 10 years later, when the unit began its conversion to the F-4 Phantom, It also took an additional mission of tactical air support of maritime operations. This meant the 149th was the only Air Force unit trained to fly over the ocean and sink ships, a mission typically reserved for the Navy. In 1999, the 149th Fighter Wing became a formal training unit for Guard, Reserve, and active duty F-16 pilots after changing operations from Air Combat Command to Air Education and Training Command. Today, the 149th is an F-16 training unit that includes a support team with a worldwide mobility commitment. Its mission is to produce the finest airmen for global engagements and domestic operations while supporting its families and serving its communities. Its members are known as the Lone Star Gunfighters and consist of both traditional and full-time Air Guard members, as well as Texas state employees. Because its Guards men and women swear allegiance to the United States and the state of Texas, they must accomplish their state mission in conjunction with their federal responsibilities. When activated by the governor, the 149th Fighter Wing joins forces with its geographically separated units and other Air and Army Guard units around the state. This joint task force can deploy rapidly whenever and wherever needed, responding to hurricanes and other disasters by providing food, water, and medical support for thousands of Texans living in disaster-ravaged areas. The unit's motto boasts having exceptional airmen who deliver uncompromised excellence and mission dominance.
We are the 149th Fighter Wing!